What's happening, everybody? I'm back as your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Now, if you have not seen this movie yet, I'm telling you, bring your ass back because there will be spoilers. Thank you to everyone who has been sending kind words and love and prayers and well wishes on my as I'm recovering from the spinal surgery I had last week. It has been a recovery. It's been a rough recovery because I'm not used to being down, if you will. I'm not used to having to stay still, but this past week or so has put a lot in perspective. And I know it's only been a week, but it's like not being able to do a fraction of the things I used to do because of my back. And, you know, for those who don't know, I had spinal surgery on my lower lumbar, my S1 through S5 region. They drilled into my disc to shrink a disc because I had a bulging disc. So they drilled into it. So yeah, that's why you've been seeing a lot more of me here. A lot more of me just in general trying to do other things that I can't do right now. I've been doing a few very, very, very few stand-up shows because standing up for a long period of time is not a good thing. But I digress. So this is one of the movies that I'm not gonna be like most people, like, yo, I was hesitant going into it, because I wasn't hesitant. You had a cast assembled that I trusted in, right? I know, so I saw a couple of homies like, man, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it, going to do it. Man, I trust Sebastian Stan. He knows who he is as Bucky. David Harbour as Red Guardian is your comedic relief per se, and he's having fun. Wyatt Russell as MAGA Cap is doing what he's supposed to do. Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, she knows who she is. Julie Louis-Dreyfus as Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, she's in there. You know, Hannah John Kamen, to see her more, you know, to get a in-depth character of Ghost as opposed to what we got in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So I'm legit like everybody that's involved. Louis Pullman was the only like X factor for me, if you will, and even still it was like, all right, I know what I started seeing. You know what I'm saying? I saw trailers and stuff like that. But all in all, man, let me say this. This movie is fucking amazing. It is amazing. Now, I said something in a tweet. I saw the movie, and a lot of people wanted to try to jump down the throat and whatnot. And you know what? I'm one of them people that's like, come at me, bro. But also, I didn't have enough time to argue back with people because I was kind of, you know, dealing with pain. I took pain pills before I went to the movie. But this is arguably, to me, the best overall MCU film since Endgame. Here's why I say this. Deadpool and Wolverine was fan service. It was a great movie. I loved it. It was fan service. No Way Home gave us what we wanted. There were a couple things I felt like didn't hit, but that's just, again, it's a personal thing. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, James Gunn got to do what James Gunn wanted to do, and Guardians 3 is amazing top to bottom. But when you're talking about a complete MCU film to keep the story going, to make the MCU in itself not feel stale, not feel stagnant, not, you know, having some life to it. That's what Thunderbolts is for me. To see, first of all, again, this is a spoiler review, so I'm going to talk a lot about the film. To see how they're brought together, where they're each between Ghost, Taskmaster, U.S. Agent, and Yelena, they're all individually doing Black Ops jobs for Valentina, right? And when she's getting caught up in a congressional hearing where she's about to be impeached and removed from her position, which shouts out to Wendell Pierce. Wendell Pierce out here working, man. He plays a congressman in this movie. He Perry White over in Superman. That brother stay working. Shouts out to Wendell Pierce. But in the process of Valentina being, you know, grilled by a subcommittee, she's trying to clean up everything. And in the process, she has all of them go to one location to try to take each other out. That is how, and even we seen in the trailer, they run into Bob. And Bob has no idea who he is. He's kind of, he has DID and mental illness and all these things. And he's a druggie. He's been just trying to score all these different things. He says it. But to have all this happen, and that's how it initially brings them together, right? You got Yelena having a crisis of faith where she's just like, she doesn't know if she wants to do this. She goes and talks to Alexei, who just wants to have prominence and glory and be a hero for a day. But you have all that. So when I go back to the moment when the four of them that I mentioned, Taskmaster, Ghost, U.S. Agent, and Yelena, are in this facility together that opens up this, that ends up letting out Sentry, who's locked away. Which also, by the way, the quickest Taskmaster shit ever. I think we all knew Taskmaster was dying, right? We all knew Taskmaster was gonna be gone. A lot of people was like, man, maybe Sentry or the Void gonna take her out. No, this bitch caught a bullet to the dome in the first like 20-something minutes. And he was like, damn. I don't even think Olga Kurylenko was actually there on set. I really think they was like, hey, can you go stand in front of a green screen for like 30 seconds real quick? Because that's all we need to see in your face. Thank you. And she was gone. But after they realized that, Valentina has put them together to kill each other, and they have released, Sentry. They don't even know he's Sentry yet. Them trying to work together to get out of the situation before Valentina's team takes them out it's hilarious, but it also shows you how they start to build together. Now, one of the biggest things, again, spoilers through this, is how they get the name Thunderbolts. If you're familiar with the comics, the Thunderbolts are named, they're put together by General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who, as we know in the MCU, has been president and also Red Hulk and is now in the Raft, which, by the way, is referenced in this movie. So you literally have the events of Captain America, Brave Negro World, and Thunderbolts literally happen back to back. Like, I know we saw Bucky in New Negro Order, and it literally goes back to back. But the way they get their name is from a cute little thing of a picture that Yelena sees, and, Red Guardian brings it over. To see how Bob realizes he has abilities. And once he realizes he has abilities, before he's officially, coined Sentry, how Valentina tries to mold him, and tell him who he's meant to be and all these different things. It's the perfect ploy of what that character would do. It is what when you look at Valentina, she is that similar to an Amanda Waller, similar to a Nick Fury, anybody, a Cecil Stedman, if you're looking at Invincible, all those type of entities that make things go around. And when, once he puts on the costume and stuff, he gets the suit and he realizes, he's like, yo, why do I even need to listen to you? He's like, yo, you talking. I'm a god. There's nothing you can say. To see how she called herself planning for it, because they had been experimenting with people prior to Bob. No one had passed the experimentation until it succeeded with him. And there was also a kill switch where if he went out of control, she could take him down. But that is what, in terms, fully activated the Void, which is his alter ego. Now, when I watched this whole movie, one of the things that kept playing in my head that I was reminded of consistently, just because my own subconscious, was that initially it wasn't Lewis Pullman. And remember, it was Steven Yeun who was supposed to be Bob at first. So initially, Steven Yeun was going to be Sentry. Now, this, for some people, may not be the thing you want to hear, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't Steven Yeun. I'm cool with Lewis Pullman as Sentry. I was super cool with it, and I'm trying to picture the look of Steven Yeun as Sentry, and it's honestly not even thinking about Invincible. It's just thinking about what he looks like as Sentry. And what I got was amazing. To see, how the team has to come together to try to beat him and actually not really defeat him. And also in the process of trying to take down Valentina, and where she tries to flip the script And basically, like I told everybody when you saw the first trailer with the asterisk, and I told y'all on Mad Titan, I told y'all for months before anybody else. Let me say this loud and fucking clear and stand on business right here. Before any of your faves and all them was talking about, well, this must mean they're gonna be. I told y'all straight up they were gonna be called the New Avengers. And they are in this movie. Y'all gonna put some respect on your boy's name. It's not just that people say, oh man, it was clearly obvious and everything. People had no clue what was gonna happen at first. They didn't know for sure it was gonna be Avengers or Dark Avengers. Like, no, they're gonna be the New Avengers. And I said it. And I said it months ago. I said it before trailers started telling you all this. I said it before anybody else, before screenings started happening. I just want to make sure I stand on business real quick. Thank you very much. Which brings me to, there is a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is where there's a woman in the grocery store. She's in a cereal aisle. And there's the Thunderbolts Wheaties box. And you have Red Guardian in his regular civilian clothes trying to get her to look at the box. Like, the Avengers, huh? Which also, by the way, the credits rolling with how different media outlets are like scrutinized. Like, Avengers? What? Or B-Avengers? The things they say, everybody like, no. But the woman he's trying to get the woman to look at the box. And he puts the box to his face like, And she's like, oh, thank you. Grabs the box and then walks off. And because he wants to be this hero and glory and prominence. He wants to feel good about himself and what he did outside of Mother Russia. But this takes you to the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene, the team now officially has their Avengers uniforms on. They have their A's, they're the Avenger A everywhere. I think they're now residing in what used to be Stark Tower because it's utilized. So it's not, which is also crazy because it's not the Baxter Building. We all thought that's what it was going to be from, Spider-Man No Way Home and all these different things. So it's not the Baxter Building, but they're in the building, and what they're talking about is how Sam is trying to sue them for the name Avengers because Sam has his team of Avengers, and they're the Avengers. Again, told y'all we're doing multiple teams of Avengers. Kept telling y'all this. So one of the things is Red Guardian was like, I have an idea. He has like a race car jumpsuit that they have in the pit crew, and it says New Avengers, but instead of with the S, it's with a Z. So they're like, what? And he's like, hey, it's different. But what happens is they get an alert of something in space, and it's an extra dimensional portal. Now, by this time also, again, Bob is with them, but Bob has realized he cannot be Sentry for the fear of unlocking the void. But I won't spoil fully in depth on that. I want you guys to see how all that plays into fruition. But there is something in space. Bob can't go because, of course, he could, but he's like, no. They put it on the satellite, on the radar, and they see it on a visual. So Bucky tells you, they put it on a visual. It is a rocket coming back. And the rocket that is coming back has the Fantastic Four logo on it, which is fucking perfect. Because at the end it says the New Avengers and Bob will return, which we already know from the announcements in the cast shares that they will be back for Doomsday, which is coming up next year. Again, everybody's going to have their own personal opinions. Everybody's going to feel how they feel. And I think that's the biggest thing a lot of people keep forgetting. We are all entitled to have an opinion on how we feel about these films. Some of us are meant to like them, love them, hate them, feel if it's a high rated, a low ranked, whatever the case may be. But these are all personal opinions. I know a lot of people over years have come at me and many others and be like, oh, you just the Marvel shield. You just shielding for Disney. And you just sitting to try to get your money. I'm like, God damn it. I just had spinal surgery. I'm broke. I got to GoFundMe. How fucking much is Disney really paying me? Because it's not paying me at all. I say that to say, I love what this does because now this movie leads us. Our next movie we get in July is Fantastic Four. That is the last film we get, I believe, for the year. Until we get Doomsday next year. I know we're going to get different series and whatnot on Disney Plus. That's a whole different thing. But I think we're back on track to where things should be going now. Now, I know a lot of people say, there are going to be people who are going to say, well, the MCU just completely fell off, blah, 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 blah. No, here's the thing. You can have some flubs, absolutely. You can have some things that don't hit as the way you want them to hit, for sure. But to say that a multi-billion-dollar film franchise has completely fallen off is asinine. To say that a film franchise that has multiple billion-dollar films, even as of recent, and even not maybe those in it don't even hit $1 billion, some hit close to $500 million, $750 million, and also you have to take in consideration, let's just be real, the economic state of the world. Not just the country, the world. People are going to go see what they want to go see, but also some people can't afford to make that, I'm going to see this one film 3-4 times as they do others. It just is what it is. But all in all, when it comes to Thunderbolts, I think this is a solid film where all the characters who needed to shine. Sebastian Stan doesn't have to shine in this, okay? Bucky doesn't have to shine. Why? Because he's already been established with who he is and what he does. From the Winter Soldier on down to his appearance in Black in America. He's shown up and he's shined, okay? This was about Yelena. We really getting her now because in order to understand like some of these people, like Black Widow, some people didn't see it, which is understandable. Some people felt like it was way too late. Some people did watch Hawkeye, some people didn't. But now you got Yelena pure who Yelena is. Some people didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. But then you understand who John Walker is. You understand who Red Guardian is, going back to Black Widow. And like I stated earlier, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, to get more of Ava as Ghost, and to get more of her as the person. As the person was so dope. And Taskmaster, rest in peace, I guess. Because, like, damn. They was like, we're going to close this loophole real quick. Let's get rid of that really fast. But, all in all, I'm dropping this the day before the wide release on the 2nd. I'm dropping it on the 1st. Because most people are going to see it, if you can, on the 1st. Okay? I'm dropping this now. Some people are going to be like, oh, why you got to have spoilers? You saw the spoiler warning in the beginning, in the title. So calm down. That's on you. If you're 18 minutes in with this with me right now, that's on you, fam. You. But listen, if you've seen this film already, if you're watching this after you went to go see it, let me know what you think in the comments below. I say this all the time, and I will repeat it again. Keep it civil. This is a comic book fucking movie. There is no reason for none of us, myself included, to be jumping off the damn deep end, Jesus. Alright? So have fun that. Like, subscribe, click on the notification bell. Please subscribe to the channel. If you want to leave us super thanks, leave us super thanks. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. If you want to donate to my GoFundMe, because I have to slow down so to help the back recovery shit. Let me be honest. Again, pull the curtain back, full transparency. I didn't want to make a GoFundMe. A bunch of comic buddies was like, yo, lean on your community and support. And I was like, I literally said, there are people dealing with way worse shit than me than having spinal surgery. But the link will be in the bio of this video as well. Yeah, man. Check out the Mad Titan podcast. We'll be back next week. We'll definitely talk about Thunderbolts more, myself and BC. If you want to support the Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. Thursdays will be my wrestling stuff. We'll talk wrestling on Thursdays. Tuesdays are supposed to be other nerdly news. It has not been a lot out yet, but things are coming back, so we're going to get back into the swing of things with that. Holla at y'all next time. Till then, I'm out.